Hello everybody, back here again for our vlog a day. Today is Tuesday the 28th, and today was a lovely, beautiful day to be alive. Got up this morning fairly late for me, truthfully, but not too bad. Got up and I was up earlier, but I was late in bed. Cut off my wife and that kind of fun stuff and that. Got Luna outside and got her back in. We ended up crawling back into bed to cuddle, so it worked out fine. So we were just kind of chilling out there in the morning, and then I got a text from Luna's owner saying they're on their way. They'll be there in like 5 minutes. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, I better get dressed. So I jumped up real quick, got dressed, got around, and then she showed up like 15 minutes later. So I was like, it was what it is. So, but got her home. She was the last dog going home from this group, so I don't have any more dogs today or tomorrow, and it's super weird feeling. But thought, well, I gotta get a couple things done today, so I went ahead and one of the things I had to do, had plans like noonish that I had to deal with and stuff and whatnot, but overall it was bad. Decided to go ahead and take my Suburban to the shop that's supposedly gonna try and work on it. Hell knows, it's not hard work. It's really not. It's just with a lift, it'll make it 1,000 times easier for me, and I just need somebody who knows what the hell they're doing, how to kind of follow some general directions and simple stuff. But it was so, nobody seems to want to work on shit anymore like the old stuff. If there's not an OBD port they can plug into and have a computer tell them what part to replace, it's like their brain don't work. So hopefully these guys do a good job on it, who knows. But took it down in the trailer, went ahead and had to air up the tire in the front of my truck. It's got a slow leak, so I aired it up, headed out, and the brakes in the truck, they need to be re-flushed, but they're still good enough. The trailer brakes are not hooked up on this trailer. The breakaway isn't hooked up, but I'm not going that far. It's all flat land down here in Florida. So did check it a couple times, make sure I had enough brake to get stopped, because sometimes what will happen is you're like, oh, this feels like got brakes, but that last 10 mile an hour to zero can take 3 times as long as you think it should. So went in and checked it a couple times, complete stops. It's all good. So from there, went ahead, drove on down, took a little back way into it, and where their shop is located at, it's kind of next to a gas station, kind of back off the side and stuff. I go and park the Suburban over in this one area. I'm like, okay, I can do that. But I look around and the Suburban has no brakes at all. I mean, I have no brake lines hooked up. So the brake pedal is still technically in the vehicle, but it does nothing. Although when you try to load the thing on the trailer and it rolls backwards off the trailer at a high rate of speed, your brain thinks it has brakes. So your brain still slams on that brake pedal, because you got, I don't know, I've been driving since I was 5, 6 years old, my dad's lap. Been driving myself with my own use of clutch and brakes since I was 8. So, and I'm 48 now. So 40 years of when you push a brake pedal, it at least does something. Even if you have a blown line, it'll still give you something. This thing gives me nothing. Like, so it was definitely an interesting experience. Went ahead and got it all lined up there, kind of off out of the way, and parked it kind of near a tree. I thought worst case scenario, if shit gets bad, it starts heading downhill too quick. And for some reason, transmission, I can't drop it in gear and give it gas to, if I'm rolling back early, put it in drive, give it gas, and it should stop itself from rolling too far. But that worst case scenario, I'll crank the wheel to the left and back it right into a tree, and it'll stop. Not gonna hit somebody else's car, not gonna hit a person, and it'll be good. So got it all out there, got all the straps off it. And in theory, I very easily could have left some of my straps in the front, then load it down slowly and stuff, but there's no fun and thrill in that. So instead I held it, hopped in there, fired the baby up, and chucked in reverse, backed her off of there, and basically kicked her back into neutral. So I was heading down the hill, and it picked up speed quick, and of course my brain still said brake, and nothing's there. So rolled her out, dropped her into drive, going backwards. It didn't grate on the transmission, but it didn't hurt it much. Give it a little bit of gas until she settled down, then came to a stop. Went ahead, drove it over, so I already walked and saw where I was gonna put it. Drove it over super slow, just drive neutral, drive neutral. It's the only brake I got. E-brake don't even work because it ain't hooked up at all. So basically rolled that baby up in there and backed it up. Wasn't quite lined up where I wanted it, so I pulled back forward, relined it up nice and straight, chucked her in the hole, went back, had all my straps all rolled up, got my ramps put in the back of the truck, and then got everything, made sure it's out of the way. And then I headed up over to the office, checked in with them, let them know I was a day early because they wanted me to drop this. They start working on Wednesday, but I dropped it off on Tuesday to them because one, better be early than late. And also my thing was the guy I borrowed the trailer from might need his trailer back, and at that point I've got to drop it off at midnight or something dumb. So I wanted to go ahead and get it off the trailer as soon as possible, that way in case he needs his trailer back, I'm not holding him up in that process. So, which is funny, he's like, yeah, keep the trailer as long as you want. I don't see any time I need it anytime soon. So he goes, you got room to store it? It's out of my way. It's out of your way. Leave it over there. I said, cool. So got unloaded, told them what I needed, and then I headed out. Everything was good. Basically, from there, just kind of went and did a few things, kind of run around and stuff. Got the trailer put back at the house. Got it all stuck up in the place I wanted it. It wasn't. Every time you drive a new trailer, it's a little bit different. You're not used to the turning radius and whatnot. So I got it back in there next to the house and back to Dim. Got it put in the spot. Headed back to the house, got a couple things done, and decided I was going to go do a little couple errands and that. So jumped on the motorcycle, went and did a little bit of run around. And I was like, everything's good. So while I was out running around, I stopped back by the mechanic shop again and been like, hey, forgot to mention, I did just put a new radiator in that thing. It has fluid and stuff in it, blah, blah, but the fans are not hooked up. So you're doing brakes. I don't think you need to like let it idle and run and stuff. It's not a requirement to let it run very long. You can run it without fans. But if you are going to be driving it a lot or in town, or need to let it idle for some dumb reason, like you're going to start it and then go to lunch, please hot wire up the fans. Just throw a jumper cable to it, a little jumper wire, not jumper cable, jumper wire to it, and kick the fans on and let it keep it from blowing up. So I realized, like, when he goes, yeah, probably not gonna be a thing, but thank you for telling us. I'm like, yeah, it's something that would have not really been a concern, but I don't know if it's one of those things like you guys like, oh yeah, we always road test our brakes on a 13-hour drive to, Omaha and back, who knows? So I'm like, yeah, no problem. So went ahead and let them know that information, so it's all good there. And there's not even a temp sensor in the vehicle that's hooked up, so they wouldn't even know it was getting hot until the motor started like shit or locked up. So let them know that information, got back to the house, got a couple of things done here and there, nothing too major, kind of moving some stuff around and finding some stuff. And I moved a bunch of junk when I was getting ready to have the house painted, so a lot of my stuff ended up just in totes that now I don't know where the hell those totes. I mean, I know where the totes are, I just don't know what's in each tote. So kind of not really fun. So I've been trying to find stuff. So I've been playing that game of looking around for things. But from there, got back from the motorcycle ride. I'd rode out and had to go walk a dog, which I went to do. So I went and stopped on the way, checking or letting them about the Suburban. I went and walked the dog, and I get there. I met the dog on the meet and greet. Dog was super friendly, a little bit high strung, a little bit weird. It's a doodle, so they're all fucking crazy. And got there, it was in like the playpen area in the house, in the room. So I get in, punch in the code, get in the house, and the dog is in the pin. Get there, and that dog is straight up Cujo, man. That dog is mad. Not even barking and running away from me, barking and running at me. And I'm like, oh, that seems really weird. I thought, well, maybe it's because it's pinned up in this playpen area and stuff to have more of an issue. So I was like, okay, not that big deal. So I get the little gate thing open to it and get the dog out. And now the dog is pissed on the floor. It's so scared and so pissed off. And it's running around the house like a maniac trying to attack me. And I was like, oh, this ain't been good. So luckily, because all I have is their little crappy leashes, and I brought my retractable leash in. So I hooked my retractable leash into a noose. And by hooking it into the noose, I was able to basically lasso the dog's head after I kind of herded it down the hallway towards the front door. And I also did realize that, shit, I hope like nobody comes over, like a neighbor or something. I don't have neighbors that just walk in. But if they open that door up, the dog is shit gone, because I didn't lock it behind me because I didn't think I would need to. So I basically finally get the noose over its neck. Once the noose neck, the dog's still freaking out a little bit. It calms down a little bit more. I'm like, okay. So I grab their other leash, hook it on their collar. So now I have my slip noose, and I also have the other leash, and it's kind of biting at me a little bit, but not too bad. So I thought, well, once we get walking, we'll be fine. So head out, we go to walking, and it starts raining. And that dog is scared to death, and it's raining, and sprinklers still going in the neighborhood. The dog's scared of sprinklers, and it's a fucking mess. I had reached out to the owners and said, hey, dog peed on the floor, where can I find towels? They said, should be some on the counter, yada yada, whatever. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I went ahead and got the walk done in the rain. Luckily the rain didn't last the whole half hour, so dog sort of dried off a little bit. We got more used to me to sniff my leg and stuff and whatnot. It wasn't too bad. Got back to the house, got the dog put away, and then when I headed back, I'm on the motorcycle ride, just soaking wet. My shoes are wet, everything's wet. So I'm like, ah, whatever. So I get back to the house there, hang out a little bit, go get my run in, get back, get a shower, and then kind of chill out for the evening. My wife is heading up to see her father after work, so she won't be home for dinner. So when she goes up and sees her dad, we basically just are responsible for our own food. So I ended up having some of those spicy chicken nuggets that I bought and made those up. Nobody else likes them, so I was eating those and finished them up. She got home from work, or from seeing her dad. She got home, I'm not sure what she had for dinner, to be honest with you, but headed outside to have a cigar and enjoy the evening with no dogs, which is weird because all I had was the patio light on. Usually I have the whole yard lit up with like rope lights and stuff so I can see the dogs what they're doing. There's no dogs here because it's super crazy and super weird feeling. So yeah, that was it. Pretty much how my day went down. So that's all I got for right now. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Have yourself a safe, wonderful day. Thanks for watching.